Before it became the tournament that stops the entire planet, the World Cup almost didn't exist at all. Picture this. The year is 1930. 13 national teams are about to risk a 3-week sea voyage across the Atlantic Ocean just to play a game of football. No television, no global fan base, just a stadium built in a race against time, and 2 countries who couldn't even agree on which ball to use in the final. What started as a desperate solution to an Olympic rule would grow into the single most watched event in human history. This is the story of how it all began, the story of the very first World Cup.
Before we talk about the World Cup, we need to go back further, to the origins of the game itself. The idea of kicking a ball with your feet isn't new. Ancient civilizations like China, Greece, and Rome practiced games similar to football thousands of years ago. But modern football, with the rules we know today, was born in one place: England. In the 19th century, English schools and universities played different versions of football, each with its own rules. Some schools allowed carrying the ball with hands, others banned it completely. This inconsistency caused chaos, especially when matches were played between different schools. In 1863, representatives from English clubs met in London and made an important decision: unify the rules under one name, Association Football. This very name is the origin of the word soccer, still used today in America. From that moment, football began spreading rapidly, first across Britain, then across the seas with British sailors, traders, and workers who carried the game with them to Europe and South America. In South America specifically, football found fertile ground. Countries like Argentina, Uruguay, and Brazil embraced the game with passion, and it quickly became part of their cultural identity. By the early 20th century, football was being played in dozens of countries around the world. But one thing was still missing: a global tournament bringing the best national teams together in one place. This is where our real story begins. Football was part of the Olympic Games, but with one condition: only amateur players could participate. The best players in Europe and South America were professionals, earning salaries, which meant they were banned from competing in the Olympics. The president of FIFA at the time, Jules Rimet, saw the problem clearly. Football deserved its own tournament, free from the Olympics restrictions. And so, out of this need, the idea of the World Cup was born. In 1930, the choice fell on one country: Uruguay. Why Uruguay? They had won Olympic gold twice in a row, in 1924 and 1928. At the same time, they were celebrating their centennial of independence. The timing was perfect. But organizing the first global tournament wasn't easy. Only 13 national teams agreed to participate, most of them from South America. European teams hesitated heavily, since traveling meant a sea voyage of several weeks across the Atlantic Ocean. To host the tournament, Uruguay built a massive stadium specifically for the occasion, Estadio Centenario. It was barely finished just days before the tournament kicked off. In July 1930, Uruguay faced Argentina in the final. Before the match began, a curious dispute broke out. Which ball would they play with? Both teams insisted on using their own. The solution? Play the first half with Argentina's ball, and the second half with Uruguay's. As if fate intervened, Argentina took the lead in the first half, but Uruguay fought back in the second, ultimately winning 4-2. Uruguay won the first World Cup in history, in front of their own fans. The government declared a national holiday to celebrate the achievement. That's how the story of the greatest sporting tournament in the world began. A journey that started with a simple idea inside English schoolyards and grew into the event that unites the entire planet every 4 years.